Yo, so we're here with my boy, Alex Gibson,
Yes, sir.
IFBB Pro. Got his pro card last year.
2 years ago, 2023.
2 years ago. Seems like it was just yesterday, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I remember when I was getting ready for that. We were friends at that point. I think we had just met maybe a couple months prior.
I think it was like 2 months prior, 3 months prior. That was out in Philly, right?
That was in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, that's where it was. Yeah. What do you think's the most progress that you've made, or what you've learned the most since that experience of going pro? Like, what do you think is going to take you to the next level now?
I think just patience, quite honestly. I mean, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I took time off after I got my pro card, is because I knew that to compete at the standard that I want to compete at the level that I want to, I'm not just competing to win every single time.
Yeah.
It takes time. And so it took a year and a half off, and now I'm like basically like a little bit over 10 weeks out right now. I look better than I looked 5 weeks out when I got my pro card.
Yeah.
And it's because I've just taken time to grow. And when a lot of times people mistake patience as, oh, just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like give it time. But it's like, no, like you give it time, but you're aggressive with the action that you take.
Yeah.
So I tell my clients, aggressive patience, aggressive with action, but patient with the results, right? And like, honestly, like you can get fast results, but it's still going to take time. So like, time's going to pass either way. It's like, what kind of level of results do you want? And I think the people that are going to go the furthest in bodybuilding are the people that are just committed to it in the long run.
Yeah, I've learned the same thing. Like, even with like playing sports and trying to work out, like there's just a certain time for rest and a certain time where you just got to hit it hard. Like, and one thing I've really respected about, you and the bodybuilder community, and like, is watching the journey of like sticking to that plan. Like, hey man, I'm 8 weeks out, I'm 5 weeks out, I'm 3 weeks out. And then all of a sudden your whole body, I just see this like, and it's like, holy cow, dude. Now I see how you get on stage, because you crunch that time when you know those last 4 to 6 weeks, it's going to be gnarly. You're going to be like dieting as hard as possible. You're going to be conserving energy before the show and getting that last minute carb loading before you get on that stage. Like, it's a science, man. And I feel like whether you're a very large person or a very skinny person, or you're like an athletic person, there's a game plan that's probably different for everybody. And like, just people get off that roadmap. They just think, oh, well, I'm not seeing instant results. And that's probably the one thing that I see that stirs most people away from the consistency, right?
Most people quit when they're on the verge of massive results if they just keep going for another week, another month, another year, right?
Yeah.
Like, people just give up on themselves too quickly. And like, the hardest part of like dieting or fat loss for most people is dealing with hunger. Yeah. And that's the hardest thing along a bodybuilding prep too. But what I've learned throughout the years is that it's okay to be hungry. Yeah. Like, you're not going to die. Like, especially when like you have a coach and like, you're not eating 1,000 calories per day, but like, let's say you're burning a shit ton of calories. Like, I can burn 4,000 calories a day, but I'm eating 2,500. That's aggressive deficit, but my body's not deficient in nutrients on 2,500 fucking calories a day.
No.
I still have plenty of fuel. I'm getting my protein in. Yeah. I'm still probably consuming a couple hundred grams of carbs. My fats aren't like super, super low. My fats are still like right now, like 50, 60 grams a day, which
it's not bad.
Healthy dietary fats, like that helps you feel good, right? So it's like, I think that, a lot of people just like, they aren't willing to sit with that uncomfortable feeling of being hungry. But with bodybuilding prep, like you were saying, like we just shrink down, and that really, like for us, like that fucking excites us, right?
Yeah.
Seeing like, all right, I look drastically better this week than I did last week. And that helps to motivate you through those periods of being hungry, because you know that hunger is helping you produce that result.
100%. Yeah. And, just looking at the sciences behind like hunger and stuff, there's certain gut bacterias that are actually going to make you skinny, certain gut bacterias that are going to make you obese. And, now that we have all this science-driven data in this industry, we can tell that when you're in ketosis and your body is triggering to start burning fat, you can't be in ketosis really unless you're hungry. I mean, like, if you're depleting yourself of carbs, most people haven't been off carbs where they're eating very little carbs, under 100 grams, let's say, for maybe 20 years, 30 years of their life. They've just been so used to just stuffing their mouth full of this stuff. When their body hits that fight or flight, like, oh my God, where are the carbs I'm used to having, right? It's like a shock. and it sends that instant neurological response to your brain, like fight or flight. Like I'm starving because I don't have one of those macronutrients I'm so used to, right? So like, what would your recommendation be to people that are experiencing that hard hitting like that hunger gut for the first time? Like, obviously you can live without food for what was it, 5, 7, 10 days, something like that. The body can live without.
Yeah, I would say like increase your fiber intake for sure, right? So like green beans, for example, like when I'm prepping, I love green beans with a lot of my meals because they taste good. You know, I put like lemon pepper seasoning on top, you know, some of the 0 calorie spray olive oil, right? Put them in the air fryer. Bro, they're great. Like they taste phenomenal. They're high in fiber. They're going to help keep me more full. So like increase fiber intake is one thing. Second thing is use like seltzer water or some sort of carbonation to help fill your stomach a little bit. I find that helps me a lot, like in between meals when I'm getting hungry. You know, ditch the soda. Like you don't need, if you like drinking soda, fucking drink diet soda. Yeah. Diet soda is such an easy switch. And, you know, there's the people that say, oh, well, it doesn't taste the same. Well, do you want to like, are you happy with your body? Like, are you happy with your body? Do you want to stay the same or do you want to change, right? Because like something needs to change if you are going to get in shape. So then that was the second thing. Third thing is pickles. Pickles are, you know, nothing's technically really like 0 calories per se. There's very few things. But pickles, like it's rounded down on the label to 0. So let's say you consume like 2 pickles. It might be 4 calories. That's not going to throw you out of the deficit, right? But it's one of the only solid foods that's that low in calories, which can make it great for a diet.
Another thing about pickles too, just a little tidbit for people.
Electrolytes.
It's good for electrolytes. And also if, you know, you're eating a lot of fiber, you're flushing your gut biomes out of your body. It's sweeping and brooming your inside. So, you know, a lot of the time they say when you're eating high fiber diets, you want to replace that gut biome with some, you know, positive pre and probiotics. I highly recommend getting fermented pickles, not just the ones that are brined in salt, but the ones that are actually fermented and on the shelf life for a long time. Try and watch out for ones that have a lot of, you know, like extra additives for preservatives and stuff in it. But if you go to like a farmer's market, get a local, you know, pickle that someone makes. Those are the best in my opinion. But yeah, man, pickles obviously, you know, fill you up. They give you like kind of that satiation that you're looking for. And yeah, speaking of calorie deficit, right? People watching this probably don't even understand what a calorie deficit is. You want to just explain the basic, like 10,000 foot high view, dummy proof version?
A calorie deficit just means that you're burning more calories than you consume on a daily basis. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to figure out how many calories you burn per day. You can use like an online total daily energy expenditure calculator. That's going to be a rough ballpark. You can use like a fitness tracker. If you're using like your Apple Watch, for example, you're going to add up your resting plus active calories, and that's going to help you get as close as possible. So, you know, there's not like any, like I would say 100%, this is like certain method, but there's a ton of methods that are going to get you 90 to 95% accuracy. Then all you got to do is test it, right? Think of it as like a science experiment, right? If it says your total daily energy expenditure is 2,500 per day, eat at 2,500 for, you know, strictly for 1 to 2 weeks, and then record your weight every couple of days. And if it's staying about the same and it's not drastically shooting up or down, that's your maintenance calories. From there, subtract like 300 calories to start when it comes to your calorie deficit.
And me personally, I'm not really a coach that does a lot of macro and calorie tracking, but Alex, he does have a coaching program with him and his girlfriend. They do a great job. They check in daily on your calorie intake. Usually we're using fitness programs like myself. I use MyFitnessPal with my clients, but you know, Alex has a program set up. So if you're watching this and you want to actually join his program and have him guide you one-on-one, even if you sign up for, you know, 90 days, 6 months, this is an education on what you're putting in your body that you're going to carry with you the rest of your life. And you can think of this as like almost like a college degree that you can build in the next 90 to 180 days for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, our goal is for everyone to graduate from working with us. So we're not trying to hold you hostage. We're not trying to have you work with us for fucking 5 years. I mean, we have like long-term clients, but that's simply just because they're so busy with their job. They're like, I just want this offloaded. I just want this all taken out of my hands. And I trust in you to do the plan. But a lot of our clients come to us and they're like, yeah, like this is a little bit, you know, a little bit uncomfortable, right? But I see this as an investment in my future health. And if you look at your health like an expense, you're gonna be cutting corners left and right if you look at it as an expense. you should be prioritizing, instead of buying those new shoes, buying that new watch, buying that new expensive car, right? That's all fine to have. But if your health is not a good spot, you should be placing your health as a priority over all those things.
Yeah, investing in myself and my health was literally one of the best investments I ever made, because no coaches ever looked at me like they do now. You know, I didn't like, and if you're a guy and you're single, I don't think I'm dating the woman I'm dating, you know, unless I'm the person that she's seeking as well to be the type of man that she's looking for. So stop trying to like go out and get everything in life, this material stuff, and grab it knowing that you probably don't deserve it yet. I mean, if your health isn't where it needs to be, you could be a CEO out there running a Fortune 500 company, but you can have millions of dollars, but if you don't have good health, it could be gone tomorrow. You could be dead. You know,
I mean,
and
for
I
a
think
lot
that's
of
so
people,
important.
those material things mask their insecurities with their body, their insecurities around their mindset, insecurities around, you know, like I found like a lot of people that like always start flexing everywhere they go, right? They have massive insecurities about their social presence and their ability to just normally interact with people. So they want people to think of them as a certain way, like, oh yeah, I'm the guy that, you know, the role, they want that, right? But it's only masking it's masking the larger, you know, systematic problem that they have in their life, which is that they're just not fully confident in themselves, and they think they need that for other people to think of them a certain way. But one of the best ways that you can become elite, that you can stand out in no matter what crowd you're in, is to be in shape. Like, I can't even tell you, like, when I first started out, like lifting weights, I was 145 pounds. Now, since I'm like 215 and jacked and also lean, I get people coming up to me all the time. I could be wearing an oversized shirt and someone comes up to me and is like, dude, what's your workout routine? And like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, you can't even see my arms or anything, right? But they just see the shape of my body. They see the shape of my body and how dense and thick it is, right? And that is like a great way to meet. Like, honestly, I've met a ton of people come up to me about asking about health fitness, but it's like the ultimate status symbol, dude. Ultimate. Like, you can buy a Lambo, you can buy a Rolls Royce, you can buy all that shit, but you can't buy a physique.
Well, thanks for having a little chit chat today. Obviously, this is going to be on my YouTube channel. If you want to follow Alex, you can go on Instagram to
@Gibson_fitness.
@Gibson_fitness. And if you want to check out him and Laney's website, you can go to
PhysiqueRevivalCoaching.com.
PhysiqueRevivalCoaching.com. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. You take a lot of value from what we're providing. We're going to keep doing series like this probably once or twice every week. And we look forward to getting your guys' feedback in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And one last thing, if you want to pre-order any belts, I'm actually going to start taking pre-orders if you want to order your own belt. So pick fitness belt, or maybe we'll even put on the site here some Alex Gibson belts as well for you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys soon.
Make America lift again.